Hi, guys. Thank you as always for tuning into Two Studs in a Pod. This week, we're sharing a conversation we had while on a virtual double date. Our chat took a path into a topic that we thought would be fun to share in the spirit of Pride Month. So, with that being said, we apologize for some of the audio quality issues you may experience while listening, but are sure you'll enjoy the conversation. And now, without further ado, let's start the show. You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod with the dynamic duo of Blaze and Meech, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber dykes, but you can call us studs. This week, we're throwing it back to our first time crossing the velvet rope and entering the sticky, smoke-filled sanctuary known as the gay club. Now let's get into it. Meech, drop the beat. Welcome back to Two Studs in the Pod. You already know it's me, Blaze.
And the homie Meech.
This week, we're dropping it like it's hot and backing it up and breaking it down as we get into our first experiences in the gay club. But before we take it back, let's check in real quick. Meech, what's good with you this week?
This week has been another kind of emotional week with everything going on. Black Lives Matter. We made a little bit of progress with getting the officers arrested and passing that Breonna's law, but we still got a lot more work to do. Other than that, I've been working from home this week, so it's been a little peaceful. I've been able to do some studying and just catch up on a few other things. What you been up to?
Digging that hole for this pool. This hole. Um, yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. And I had to call in reinforcements, so I'll be having my nephews for the next week help
Nice.
dig this hole, and it's about to be an interesting adventure because Auntie B has had them, by myself a few times, but for a week straight now, that's a whole nother story. So here we go. Thank God Auntie Nikki is here to assist. Whew. And with all these spikes in the corona,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, it doesn't look like we'll be going outside anytime soon. So beyond what I've been doing already, I'm probably just going to keep staying inside. So,
Yeah, I think that's better because Florida numbers were looking crazy this week.
yes, and especially even like where I'm located at. So I'm just like, yeah, nah, I'm not I'm not trying to go outside and risk it. And the number of people I've seen not wearing masks while they're out is a little alarming. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still some shit going around. Like it never disappeared just because something else happened doesn't mean that stopped. So, well, before we get too deep into it, let's welcome in some familiar faces to the podcast and our biggest supporters, Edie and Nikki. Please give people a hello and let us know how you can do it.
Hey.
Kind of clap.
You know we have a sound effect for that, right?
Right.
Why y'all hate on my bootleg sound effect? Hello, it's Nikki. How did my week go? Stress. That's a lot of stress. With Black Lives Matter and then working for a company who gives zero craps about anybody's life and having a code switch all day, 10, 12 hours a day is a lot. So I don't know. I don't even think I can stop using my work voice now. Like I think I was working so much. I still haven't come off of that
You
yet.
need to put that work attitude away sometimes. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. I am not one of these coworkers of yours, okay?
True. Working on it.
It's not going down like that over here.
But I did get a workout in and a meditation going. Got some deep breathing for 10 minutes, me and Dr. Chelsea, on the Peloton meditation tip. I think you were laughing at me because of the song choices she chose.
I just thought it was random to hear Liz Voice sing.
It was very uplifting.
After I've been hearing all this juice, and all that, like suddenly I'm hearing this, and I'm like, what?
Yes, I think it was very nice and peaceful, and got a lot of deep breathing in, and just kind of reconnect with myself. So that was good for the day.
Edie, how about yourself?
Oh, I survived another week. New York is on phase 2 now, so we're about 75% capacity with seeing patients, so it's getting busier. It's getting a little bit scarier, but yeah.
People wearing masks when they come? Do you guys require masks still?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody has to be screened before coming in. We screen on the phone, confirmation before they even step foot into the office. Everybody gets screened, even if they come with a guest, even they get screened. No pass and go. But other than that, it's been good. I was part of a little protest not too long ago. Woo-hoo.
All right.
Actually, I was driving, and I didn't realize we were going to be protesting.
Oh.
And I was in it. I got my mirror taken out a little bit, but
Damn.
It's all good for the cause.
I mean, like, were they purposely being aggressive towards you, or you just got?
No. They were riding bikes. They were protesting on bikes. So the person that was coming back up to kind of like direct everybody, I think he shoulder bumped my mirror and just kept going. But I fixed it. I was in there anyway, not going anywhere, so just got out the car and fixed it. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it's all for the cause. What's one mirror?
Right.
Considering, what they're doing it for in the first place. So.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. It was dope.
Yeah. So you can say you were part of the protest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was there. That's what I would tell my.
Yeah, I was there. Very proud of people. Everybody had their mask on. Everybody was protecting themselves as best as they could for it to be a large crowd. It was really long. It was cool though.
That's good. That's awesome. That's awesome to see and that they keep doing it too. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just like a one-time thing. Something small happened, and then people are just like, oh, all right. People are sticking with it and sticking to it. So that's what's going to get real change to happen.
And keep donating their bail money if you can.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, some of us can't go out there, right?
But I can give a couple dollars to bail some people out.
Right, but if you can do it, then I got you. At least I can try to help a little bit. Right. So, definitely. Well, now that we're all caught up in loot, let's get to our first segment this week. Seeing as how it looks like we're going to be inside a little longer, we thought it would be a good time for Green Feet. This is a segment of our show where we like to share new trends, podcasts, books, shows, whatever other new and found to keep us entertained. Meet, what has been helping to distract you in the outside world right now?
I've actually was watching this novella.
What?
Yeah, because I used to watch the American version of the show called Queen of the South.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yeah. So I heard I always saw the commercials for the novella version. Yeah, so it's called La Reina del Sur.
Yeah, look at you.
So it's
does it continue past? Do you know what this season? I just finished the last episode of this current season on Netflix.
Of the American version?
Yeah, the American version. Do you know if the Spanish version is ahead of the American version?
Oh yeah, it's way ahead. I think I finished actually 2 seasons and it's like 60 episodes each, bruh.
Damn,
but it's way different than the American version. Like it's more detailed, and then it's a novella, so they stretch it out.
Right. But it
was good. Okay. It was good. I like the characters. I like the characters better in the novella, but I like the actors better in the American version. So I watched that, and then I actually just came upon a book that I'm reading called Black Like Us. And it's about like gay, lesbian, African American fiction. So they're trying to tie into like for the last century. So a lot of authors or a lot of poems and things that we didn't know were written by gay or lesbian authors.
Okay.
Or if they had some gay or lesbian connotation to them, they addressed them in this book. So yeah, so I'm only like halfway through it, but it's pretty, it's a short read. So I'll have like, I'll put it on my IG so you guys could check it out if you want.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
But
good.
yeah, that's been keeping me busy. I don't know what you've been up to.
Well, I've been having a lot of free time lately, so other than just digging away, I have been watching a lot of Prime and Netflix. Like I said, I just finished Queen of the South. I was waiting for it because I think it comes on regular TV, but I can't like consume. That's one show that I can't consume like that. Like I need to see it all
Right.
in one shot. So I just finished that. Earlier I watched The Aggressor on Prime, which is about like AGs in New York. It's old. It's super old, and I watched it before, but
Yeah.
it's just like talks about it follows some stuff. Well, I would call them stuff. They call themselves AGs. It follows them around and shows their life and stuff like that. Um, I follow their Instagram and they say that they're coming out with a part two, like a follow up. So I'm interested to see what happens to some of those storylines, things like that. So I've been watching that. I also watched Feel Good on Netflix, which is it was a white stud. I mean, I wouldn't call it a stud. It was a white masculine series. Like a comedian. I don't know how I would describe her, but she was like fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't like one particular butch or film. She was like more. But I mean that was alright. We just been watching a lot of gay shit because it's Pride Month, so we've been watching a lot of gay shit. Because we watched the half of it, which was from a Asian perspective, and so that one was cool. So it seemed like it would be a little too young initially, but when you watch it and you just see the story and you're gay, you kind of feel the like. Remember being in high school? At least for me. I mean, maybe it was different for you, but I was out in high school. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different kind of connection. I don't know, it was a thing like that's whatever. And then also we watched Transformer, which is about a powerlifter, a male powerlifter who transitioned into a woman.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Award
She
winning.
used to be a Marine.
Yeah. Like macho.
Cover muscle and fitness.
Whoa, like a mother. Yes, like and
Was that a movie or a show?
It's a documentary on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And Netflix has a special section right now for Pride Month, so it was one of those. It was on there.
It's been working for me through.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we watching all this gay shit because it's Pride Month, so to be extra gay since we can't really go to Pride right now. So
we have to catch up.
And we watched Hollywood a while ago, but that's gay as well. I don't know if you watched it. It's like a limited series or a series, but that was pretty good. All right. Now let's get into the nitty gritty with our weekly segment known as Booties. Booties is a part of our show where we get into the topic of the week. And, well, as they say, there's a first time for everything. And no two people's first time is exactly alike. Which is why this week, as we continue to celebrate Pride Month, we are getting into our first gay club experience. Because Meek and I are such gentlemen. We will let the ladies eat. You go ahead. Get us started.
My first time, where was I? I think it was in Virginia. And I didn't know I was going to a gay club. And I believe I was about 23-ish. I don't know. There weren't too many gay clubs that I knew of in Texas where I was stationed at early years, my rock star years.
Yes,
so I went to a lot of straight clubs. So when I got to Virginia, I have, developed a friendship. He later became my best friend, David, and he told me, let's go out. So I go out, but he didn't tell me where we were going. I thought we were just going to some regular club in Richmond. And it turned out to be a gay club. And it was a hood one, too. So it was you know,
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Did he know?
it was good.
Was it a surprise to him too, or he knew what was up?
No, he knew this was
Oh,
his spot. He definitely knew.
Okay.
He just wanted me to come along because he didn't want to be by himself this time.
And what was it like? Was there a lot of people in there, or?
It was kind of a quiet night. I think we went on like a Thursday, so the crowd was decent from what I remember, but it was good. We had a lot of fun. I was pleasantly surprised. I definitely liked the mix of people there, and I had fun. You know, even though it wasn't a lot of people, we made it fun, and I had a lot of fun that night. So my first time in the gay club was great.
Nikki, your first time in the gay club?
Wow. So I had, or I was working at a telemarketing company in South Florida, and I had made a lot of interesting friends and just started hanging out with them and kind of started realizing, oh, okay, all of us are gay. It's like we gravitated toward each other. A couple were just kind of curious, and I had never been
Was it all women, or was it?
We're all women.
Okay.
All women. Like I know we know a lot of the same people at the time, but they were not with us. So all of us were femme women, with the exception of one of the girls' girlfriend, who was more androgynous, if you will, but not enough to look feminine in feminine clothes. Just it wasn't that hard look. So they were like, okay, we're gonna take you to the club because they thought it would be funny
Okay, you to the
to
club?
take me.
Little did they know.
So
You're creating a monster.
no, I had never been to one. This was completely out of my element. I had been to a gay male club before, but not to a predominantly lesbian club before. And I had never really been out to a true club in South Florida either at that time.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot going on at one time. So I show up and they're like, wow, you are overdressed. And I was like, what? Because I'm thinking we're going to a club. I'm used to going to clubs in Atlanta. I'm used to going to clubs. You know, you go out, you're nice, you dress nice and everything. And they're like, okay, let's do this. Let's go. You know, we're pre-gaming. And we pull up in Davie, Florida into the parking lot of Jay's. And I was like, okay. There was a lot. I was overdressed.
You gotta give the people an idea of what Jay's is though, because we know Jay's.
Oh,
But the people don't know Jay's.
I'm not gonna say that it's a hole in the wall because being from the South, I know what like a juke joint is, like a shack. But this isn't a strip mall, if you will, like an old strip mall. Windows. It's not a strip mall. You would be like, hey, let's go in here and look around. Not at all like that, right? Like I don't know. It was more like a Big Lots or something parking lot. I couldn't remember what was there.
It was a library.
Oh, that was a library?
Yes.
Oh shit, yo, I never knew that.
I never knew that was that. Okay, I never knew.
There was a library. I only know that because, like, I mean, like one of my first times was going to the gay club was Jade, and that was with my homegirl, and she was straight, but we just started going to clubs. Anyway, going to Jay's for the first time, we tried to find a club, and we were like looking at a library. You're like, why the fuck are we looking at a library right now? We're trying to get into the club, and then lo and behold, if you just angle to the right and look closer to the street, there it is. It's right there.
I never knew. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, for real.
But
all right, so I think we got a little bit of an idea.
yeah, so we park, we pull up, we get out of the car. My friends were real cool. They were like, you know, you're real green. So they just kind of stayed around me. You know, encapsulated me, if you will. But I don't know what I thought lesbians would look like in my, you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it. Like I was looking at femme girls, lipstick lesbians, whatever the names you want to call them there, and I was used to like a soft butch, if you will, androgynous, you know. But in South Florida, like when they aggressive girls, stud girls, man, some of them have like mustaches and beards, gold teeth, those long, just poppy dreadlocks, like or locks. It was just this. I didn't expect that. I don't know what this. I don't know. I don't know how to put that. So in my mind, it was just like watching one of those Netflix specials that I like a documentary, if you will. And so we go in. The music sounds good. I mean, I was having a good time, and then the drinks start coming, and I think that's where I met my bartender that I like, my first bartender. But going in there, it was a when I walked in, I just saw so many different things at once, and I think my eyes got really big because I was just like, it's ratchet, but I like it.
Really?
I'm like, I can do this. I'm like, it was such a good time. And you know, I love my little gay boys. I love my gay boys. So you know, I'm in there dancing, and I don't know how to explain it. I just had a good time. I had the best time ever. And I just remember my friends were like keeping people from talking to me because they were like
They weren't your
finding out, huh?
so they weren't your friends. They were trying to protect you from the rest of the vultures
Yeah, that's it.
for
That's what
themselves.
telling me, like, you know, this
Like this first
person,
week is mine right here.
like
Yup.
this person,
They were claiming you. That's what it was.
yeah, like you don't want to talk to her. She's really a predator. She's coming over here because you're new and she hasn't seen you before.
That's what first week is.
Okay, fine. But they were like, you know, she's been wearing that same suit jacket to the club for like 10, 15 years. I don't want to say her name because if I say it and you're from South Florida, you know who she is. But it's like it's a pack of them, but you know who they are because they uh, life has evolved and they like to throw parties. They all hang out. The older crew, you know, I think now they're all in their 50s.
Yeah, probably.
You think about the time frame, so you know they're just straight predators.
Still predator.
Still
Still out there
predators,
preying.
having a you know little fresh meat. But I don't know. I just had a good time, and I went to James frequently, but then I realized that wasn't necessarily my speed because there would be like a lot of fighting. Like lesbian girls are crazy. They're so protective. Don't you? And I was like, oh, okay,
You breathed on my girl.
for real. Like, are you looking over here? And that's when I started. We started hanging out more. I was actually hanging out a lot for me. You know, I don't really leave the house, but that's when I happened upon New Moon, and that was my spot. We had a good mix of folks.
Shit, my first time was obviously out in Miami. Um okay, so technically my first time was when I came out there to see Miami for vacation when I decided to move, and my cousin and her girlfriend took me to New Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is cool. You know, it's a little bar spot. There's a mix of people. I didn't really see too many people my flavor there. Um and that, I could identify with. I don't think that night there was anybody there, but it was just dope, like it had that juice music and a little bit of hip hop. The drinks were good. I liked it cuz, we could go in and out, but yeah, it was cool. It was a vibe. But the next club, I'm gonna talk about my second time because this is the better story.
The makeup store.
Yeah, it was at Cloud 9, which is another.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's totally different. Cloud 9 is a hood club.
yeah.
The
Um,
after club, the J's, the original hood club.
yeah. If Jay's was bad, then Cloud 9 is ratchet. But That was the spot. They played all the good music there, like everything hip hop. Get reggae, you get even a little bit of Spanish music in there. The everything would be bumping. So the first time I went there, I actually went with one of my homegirls who used to play basketball, and it was me and her, and then a bunch of her basketball friends came to town. So we went with them. So it's like me, this little person with all these big ass basketball players that are like 5'10" and better. So, we had a lot of attention on us. But it was dope. Like, it was fun. We were vibing. Like, this was their first time in a club like that too, because they're from all over the world, California, wherever, Spain, like people was from everywhere. So it was just a vibe. And like we had like all eyes on us, but it was dope because the music and everybody's in there smoking weed, smoking blacks, getting lit. I think they might have even had like a stripper or a dancer come out on that little pole that's in the middle of the dance floor. Yeah, so it was dope.
So thick you couldn't even walk through that, man.
Yeah. Yo, it was vibe. It was definitely a vibe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I remember my exact first time. Because I remember times getting in when I wasn't supposed to be able to get in because I was sneaking in the club with the IDs and shit.
You remember your first club? You just walk in like, oh my gosh, I'm home with my rainbow family.
No, because I was just with like around. I did a lot of gay shit, like even outside of the club. So like I was always around gay people a lot, and so I was in youth groups and doing gay straight alliances and shit like that. So, but I do remember sneaking in to Jay's for the first time on Black Night. Now, see, that was the thing. Like I do remember my first Black Night experience at the club because I used to go during the week with my homie because my homie could slide me in. You know what I'm saying? So I could get in, and it wasn't nothing, but I could like dance a little bit. Some nights were better than others. But my first experience getting into the club on Black Night, now that or hip hop night or whatever you want to call it, but it was nothing but black people. Now that was a thing, and I couldn't wait to get in there. And that shit was a Friday night, and the shit used to be so thick, the line would be all the way down to the fucking library. Okay, and I got in with my homegirl's ID that I used to work with. Now I'm what 5'10", right? She is like 5'2". Girl. She had cornrows and everything in this ID picture, all this shit. Like it was not me. Me and her don't look nothing alike. There's no way, shape or form. And I was like, I gotta get in this club. And her ID said that I was old enough to get in the club. And I used it. The line was so long that they actually decided to start having the cop who was at the front door start checking
Oh,
ID.
damn.
So I'm like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to get in. Like I'm sweating. I don't remember this whole ID, but here I am 5'10". This ID say I'm 5'2". She obviously is not me. So he looks at the ID, look at me, and I'm like, sir, that was in my girly days. And he looks at me, he just was like, here, he gives me the ID back and lets me. Now, when I walked in then, that first night, that's when I was like, oh, like I'm home, like where I'm supposed to be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To be in all these kind of clubs. And I think the only other time I ever had that feeling was I went to this warehouse club. No, twice. 2 warehouse clubs full of girls everywhere. One in Atlanta and one in for Sweet Heat in Miami.
I think Atlanta has the best lesbian clubs though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That is what it is. But yeah, so my first time during Black Night. Now that was a hip hop night, kind of whatever you want to call it. That was my most memorable experience, gay experience. That sound means it's time for what we like to call Too Many Peas in the Pod. This is the part of the show where we like to answer a few questions we receive from our listeners or have found browsing through the internet. This week we got another question from the internet, and it goes a little something like this.
Question.
How do you handle dating someone who is still in the closet?
That's tough.
I've never dated a closeted person.
Me neither. But it sounds annoying.
It is. I was dealing with somebody who was still in the closet to pretty much everybody, and it sucks because it makes you feel like you have to be back in the closet. Like, I was around her whole family all the time, and like, it's like I feel like everybody knows because I'm a stud.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because
like,
you can't hide it, right? Because
yeah, that little stud friend that's you're always hanging out with. I'm sure that when you guys go into your room, nothing's happened. Like, come on,
right.
But it was annoying because I couldn't be comfortable, and you know, I don't know, like once I came out, I'm like, you can't shove me back in the closet. Like, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to live like that. So it was tough. It's a lot of work though, especially if the person's family is not okay with that lifestyle. You gotta kind of help. Like, I feel like you gotta kind of help your partner or the person you're dating if that's something you want to pursue in the long run. Deal with it and come out eventually. But if they're just planning on living like that forever, I wouldn't recommend it because that's no way to live.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if I dated closeted people per se. Maybe like I was the only girl I ever been with type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were straight and they were messing with me. But I mean, I don't know if that made them closeted. They were still out. Like, we would be out and about and doing things like that. So it's not like they try to hide it. Even around their kids and stuff. So that is what it is. So I don't know, and how I would handle it, I don't know. I guess it would be annoying, like you said, because I'm out, like I can't hide it either. And even if I could, like, Nikki or Edie, then I don't know that it would still not be annoying to me to deal with somebody who's in the closet, especially since I've been out so long.
Right. It's hard to not be you.
Right. Like, how do I suppress all these decades?
Right. How do I suppress how I walk, and
Right.
how do I, my hair, and when I get my lineup, and
right. So
I'm always gonna be in basketball shorts. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
As always, shout out to our fellow podcasters in the Pod All the Time podcast network, and shout out to Niggas Need Therapy for having us on their live virtual chat event to celebrate Pride Month. We had a blast. You can view the recording of our chat with them right now on their IGTV. Be sure to follow them too at NN_therapy on IG, and they're doing some great stuff related to mental health. Thank you again for joining us, Nikki and Edie. It was fun. We love you guys for always being down to get in on this good time. And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Find us on IG and Twitter at 2 Studs in a Pod for a behind-the-scenes look at life beyond the pod. Follow Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and on Twitter at Homie Meech, and myself at its.me.blaze on IG and itsmeblaze2 on Twitter. You can always hit us up at 2studsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. We're always working on ways to improve the show for you guys, so all feedback is welcome. Also, please like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend about the podcast. All of our growth is thanks to you guys, our listeners. Maybe we need a name for you guys, like our own Beehive or our Navy. I don't know. Let us know what you think. Anyway, 2 Studs in a Pod is streaming on major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Radio Public, and Overcast. Gratitude is always the attitude, so we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.